Okay, well, I asked a question on my Discord server. What character you guys want to know next about if it's good to animate with? And you guys put Tarn. So today we're gonna go through Legacy Tarn, and we're gonna see, do I think he's a good figure to animate stop motion with? And I'm gonna give you a straightforward answer. I think he's okay. And I know a lot of you are gonna complain in the comments. You're gonna be like, no, he's perfect. He's a great figure. He's better than all Earthrise Optimus Prime. He's some of you disagreed with for me for Earthrise Optimus Prime, but it got pretty good views, so I'm okay with that. This figure is only alright for stop motion. Now here's why. Well, basically, his articulation is not that amazing. That's only in the sense of his how it feels. His articulation is amazing for a Transformers figure, especially a mainstream figure. It is great, but the only thing is that it's super loose. If I do this, I don't want to be able to do this. This is the thing I do not want to be able to do. I don't want to be able to move them like this, rather than be like this, where they just stay and they just don't move. And that's where this figure struggles a lot in this posability and animating phase, because when I put a pose like this, he stays, but then if I want to move him, with one leg, he falls because his legs can't support him. And I can just fling him around. I fixed this a little bit in their second issue of this mold, which is Bludgeon. Bludgeon I really love. I even like him more than Tarn, mainly because of his look and his appearance, but his joints are that much better. It's not that super dramatic amount, but it's enough to be able to tolerate. But even then, if you're on stream with me at all, make sure to join a stream. It's really fun. I animate on stream and talk to you guys live about tips and trips of animating. But you see how frustrated I get with this guy, because I'm trying to make him fight Optimus Prime right now, what I'm doing, and he just falls. One touch, one move to him like this, because his waist joint is really stiff, and they all move, and he's good. But this video is not about Bludgeon. This video is about Tarn. So this Tarn was the first figure of this mold, and he stands up pretty good. I mean, I guess it depends on what copy you get, but on an average copy, this is probably how it's gonna be. And it kind of is not great. I really like Tarn. He's one of my favorite Decepticons. I could even say my favorite Decepticon. He has so much potential to do, especially in stop motion, because you can do whatever you want with them. But he's limited in his fighting capability. When you see episode 6, you're gonna see that it's really cool, and I pulled off some cool things, but it took a long time, a lot of reshooting, because you can pull off a cool shot like this. Oh, I can't even do it here. See, but see how long it takes for me just to pose him, let alone move him, trying to take pictures. Now you can make a cool pose like that, or a cool pose like this, and this is just off my head. But him trying to hold these positions when you're trying to take pictures and trying to make him fight against other people, it's hard. He's really good at punching people. He's really good at talking. He's a great talker, because he can give so much emotion with his hands opening and whatnot. He's really good in that way, and I'm really glad about that. But in a fight scene, he's not good. And this is why today he's a maybe. He may be good, he may be bad, because it depends what your type of stop motion is. If you're doing still motion, this guy's a beast. He's amazing. Best figure you could ever use for it. But if you're doing stop motion, you're doing fights like Panda Jacket was and is, I guess, in me, it's not great, because you have to move him in such ways that he doesn't want to move, or his figure just doesn't allow him. Bludgeon is, like I said, a little bit better, but at the same time, I still, as you see, have trouble posing him, or just overall using them to animate, especially in fight scenes. And I did not think at first, if you were to ask me 3 months ago, who's your best stop motion character to animate with, I would have picked Tarn and Bludgeon, because I didn't really take time to animate with them enough to see their flaws. I only saw their greatness because of their articulation out of the box. And that's just where some people go wrong with these two. They're great figures, don't get me wrong. They did a great job for a mainline release. I'm still blown away that we got them, but they're still not that amazingly amazing that we've gotten in the past or like what we've gotten now. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing or anything, but for fight scenes, these guys, you gotta really have some patience, and you really gotta put power into it, and you really gotta just continue refilming or refill shooting, whatever. These guys, I haven't transformed once. They don't have moving wheels, so it's kind of hard to animate them driving. That's why I've never done it. I guess as a tank, so you don't have to show wheels, but it's still hard to animate them driving. So there's a lot of flaws to these characters, especially when they have their this thing on his freaking arm is actually insanely frustrating. But they still have that amazing presence. Like when you look at this figure and you be like, is this a cool figure? It's like, yeah, because he's Tarn. He's that big bad. He's like the Fallen. He's like Megatron. He's like one of those big Decepticons that you just have that big presence by. And that's what's really cool about him. That's what you really want for stop motion. Get this figure. I definitely still recommend it. Even though he's not the most amazing for fight scenes, he's amazing to look at. He's amazing to use a story for. Oh, and I hit my camera. And he's just an amazing character in general. But for animation itself, if you have a rig, if you're going to use a plastic rig to hook on to the back of him right here, and you're going to do all these amazing kicks and tricks and whatever, you're gonna love this thing. You're gonna think it's the best figure in the world to animate with, and it probably would be for you. But for someone like me who does practical like stuff with the figures, not using rigs because I want to make it as real as it can be, it's hard. It's hard to do. So I'd still recommend them, but try to write in your script. Like, know your limitations before you write in the script or try to film this and to get to this point. So do a couple tests, do a few fight scenes, a few jump scenes, a few transformations, a few walking cycles, and try to figure out, is it gonna work for what I want to do in this series? And that's my big advice for any character. Try them out before. That's one of the things I did not do at the start, and it really flawed in my earlier episodes, my earlier stop motions. So yeah, Tarn, it's a good figure. He's a great figure. Is he great for animating? Yeah, he's pretty decent. You should pick him up, definitely. I definitely recommend this figure. He's super cool, and I think you're gonna love him. So, thank you all for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one. Get this one to 600 views, and we'll do a part 3 of this series. See you guys in the next one. Peace.